launching the sector's deep dive report. It is a report that we started developing early this year, around January. Right now we do have the 14 sectors included in this report, and we hope that this report will be a tool that will be used by both KAM and the public sector, the government, to drive policy changes to ensure that we have a competitive manufacturing environment.
Our strategic intent, because some people forget this, but we aspire to grow our contribution to the GDP by 15%. We are also aspire to increase skill-based employment by another 33%. We aspire again to increase our market penetration and market within the region, ESC, SADC, and all the related market by another 33%.
Right now we are doing much on skills development to enhance the productivity of the sector. Right now we have one of the most productive lines in Africa operating here in Kenya at about 95% efficiency. So it's really a benchmark for not just for Kenya but for other manufacturers around the world. Going forward, what we see happening with the exception of the BT cotton for the textiles and apparel sector, we expect a high rise in raw material supply for the sector, but also we expect that the government does a deliberate incentive to provide power at a competitive cost. Right now we are looking at a cost of around 9 US cents per kilowatt hour. It is ideally the ideal cost that will ensure that we are competitive and slowly transform from the third country fabric provision that we've been using.
Kids who are unable to actually have enough testing equipment and also at the moment don't work 7 days a week, which is actually leading to intense and unsustainable delays for manufacturers. Coming on to power. Electricity, obviously, we've been struggling with very high power costs in this country for a long time. We're tied into some pretty long deals with independent power producers. What we're trying to do actually at KAM is we're actually working with Eddie Georgic, the former MD of KenGen, to create a roadmap for us to actually prepare and present to government how we're actually going to bring the power costs down, including some fairly radical proposals, and what we then need to do to make ourselves more competitive on power.
Out of the sector deep dive report, we have identified the challenges that the manufacturing sector has been facing, and out of those challenges we have also looked at the opportunities that can be exploited in the next 5 years so that we can be able to grow our sector extensively, and also the sector can be able to contribute 15% of the GDP by 2022 as it is envisaged by the government.
So the achievements made thus far include the formation of the multi-agency task force, which has seen the fight against illicit trade become successful, so that some of the sectors are registering an increased market share, for example, the edible oil subsector, and also on the spirit side and the liquor sectors. Secondly, Kenya's ratification of the African Continental Free Trade Area. We were the first ones to sign up. At the moment, 8 countries have signed up out of the minimum 25 that are required to ratify this agreement by the end of December.
Thank you very much.
Please applause.
We're going to knock into the government jobs and also to the donor institutions and also financial institutions Like on 30th of this month, we have set a meeting with the World Bank, where we're going to discuss the document, amongst other documents, on how the government, together with the financial institutions, can come plug into the proposals and ensure that the manufacturing sector has been supported fully. I will start off from the first page. That's the Big Four agenda. Luckily enough, we saw the Big Four agenda was considered in the budget policy statement for the financial year 2018 and 2019. Also, it was entrenched in the Finance Act 2018. But you're looking at how the sector can be allocated 4% of the government revenues into infrastructure development and enabling environment so that it can grow. There's some sectors that have been identified in the Big Four agenda. One is textile and apparel, and that's cotton sector. Another one is leather, agro-processing. Those are 3 sectors, and we can go to the next slide, whereby we have construction materials, oil, mining and gas, iron and steel, and ICT. Those are the sectors that have been identified by the government at the Big Four agenda. And you can see there are some targets that have been put there, like now you can see on iron and steel, we're talking of a new investment worth over $1 billion. That's what we want to attract as FDI. You can see in ICT, you're looking at light manufacturing into phones, laptop, and whatnot. But all these is going to be possible if we have conducive business environment or manufacturing environment in the country. That's a vertical line that is showing the difference between the current business states and where we want to go as the manufacturing sector. The current business states, you can see the dotted line where it ends on the right-hand side. That shows that by 2022, we're supposed to be at around 9.6, if it is business as usual, from the current 8.4. But if we adopt the policies that we are propagating for this night, we will reach the 15% by 2022.
There is value when you join as a member of the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, and we look forward to having fruitful engagement with the government as we develop our advocacy agenda.